Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to part 3 of Pillars of Eternity. AstralGames day 102. Astral gots to get paid is what he's saying, yep. Yes indeed. This is indeed what I'm saying. I think we got everything here that we could have done except for the temple. So yeah. I know our next destination is gonna be the temple. Right. Temple? Wait. I have more experience than I can have? Or do I have 3,000?
Yeah.
I level up. Didn't even notice. Right, let's level up first and then go to the temple. We can add to skills. Let's get some lore up. Lore represents a character. I know what lurks there, lots of readings. Wow, excellent. Law mechanics. And then athletics, why not? Lots of reading. A phrase. Blessed was Wengrid, quickest of his tribe. Increased the movement rate and reflex. Thick grew their tongues, stumbling over their words. Reduced concentration. At the sight of their comrades, their hearts grew bold. Giving bonus to fortitude and will. I think that's the best one. No new talent unlocks. Aww. Perfect. So do I now have to chant? Do I now put this here or something? Oh! Okay, so I can just put it there. So now my chant does everything, I assume. Alright, wizard, level up. Survival. Stealth. I'm assuming lore is your thing, so yep. And why not? Ooh, spells. Oh, we can choose. Oh my god. Bewildering spectacle. Confused. Binding web. Hobbled. What does hobbled do? Bulwark against the elements. It's only for self, I assume. Combusting wounds. Ouch. Corrosive siphon. Eats away the target's spirit, inflicting corrosive damage. And converting that essence into endurance for a caster. That's nice. All these choices. Astral doesn't have them. Curse of the Blackened Sight shrouds in total darkness. Fetid Caress. The target becomes paralyzed. Sickened. Infuse with Vital Essence. Infuses the caster with vitality. But it says infuses the caster, so is that himself? I assume it's himself. Merciless Gaze. 15 of the hits converted to crits. Miasma of Dull-Mindedness. Damn. Inflicts penalties to perception and stuff. Creates duplicates of the cast to distract enemies, granting high deflection. Nice. Corrode damage, Ray of Fire, Scorching Ray, Rolling Flame. I'm assuming mirror damage for defense is nice, so let's go with that one.
Yes?
Do we need to do something for that? No spells first level, no spells second level, nope. It's already there. Wizards have the ability to learn a staggering number of spells, but they are always limited in the capacity for their grimoires. At any given time, a grimoire will only contain 4 spells of each level. Click on a spell on the right panel to remove it from the grimoire. Add spells to empty slots by clicking on the left. Oh, we already had it. Oh well. At least he's got a level 2 version of it now. So yeah, on to the temple. We have leveled up. We are ready to go. Yeah. Oh boy, what lies inside the temple? Dude. Hello? Who's there? A man lies resting against the wall, lit by the dim illumination of fading sconces. Sconces. He has a gaunt, fox-like aspect, and his face is pale and damp with sweat. One arm is held loosely against his side, sleeves soaked with blood. He gives you an anxious glance as you near, his features twisted with pain.
Hail, traveler.
Hi, thought you were some... Never mind. Whoever you are, you've traveled a long way to reach a dark place. This temple isn't what it used to be, probably for the best. Times being as they are. Ugh. He groans and shifts position, wincing. I'm no looter, if that's what you're thinking. Not one of the faithful either. Just wanted to do some good, I suppose. But my arm clawed up for it. He regarded you warily. Maybe you would have better luck. What happened to you? I was trying to avoid the spiders. He breathed a quiet laugh. Ran into a skulder. Might have gone a little better for me if the beast hadn't knocked the sword right out of my hand. Good blade too, probably still lying there in the dust. He smiles wearily. But I'm not, so that's alright. It's not a bad wound, I think. Just hurts. What are you doing down here? The man points a finger upwards. These ruins around us used to be a temple of Aethas, the scattered god. A grand temple at that. His worshippers come from all over Direwood, from Reed Saras even. Until the war, of course. Even then, you'd get some of the stubborn ones. The ones that couldn't get it through their heads that their god was dead and gone. Lord Raederick allowed them worship. Lord Raederick would clear out the place from time to time, make a rest. It wasn't until the legacy that he started, losing patience. He sends his guards in to put the priests to the sword, but the place down, burned some of the books. Oh, bring the place back. And that was that. He looks away. Go on. I know what the legacy is. Once the legacy started, Lord Raedric decided he'd been too lenient on the Eothasians. He had his people go in and put them to the sword, left them down there, buried under a heap of rock. After that, Raedric ordered the temple sealed. It's been years like that, up until recently. Lord Raedric hopes that if we rededicate the temple to a living god, then we'll be forgiven and the legacy will end. See? But until then, the temple is as you see it, unguarded. That's where you come in. Those priests, maybe they didn't have a lick of sense between them, but they still didn't deserve to go like that. Chopped down in their god's house. It doesn't sit right with me. If you can get down there, find their remains, maybe we can finally give them a proper burial. No small task. There's coin in it for you, if you need motivating. Aldous cautious expression softens. A pleasant surprise to see that someone around here has a shred of respect for the dead. I take it you aren't supposed to be in here? Well, I meant to be in and out, nice and quick. I'm not hurting anyone, just Lord Raedric's forbidden anyone having anything to do with the Scattered God. It'd be a little harder to explain to him than you. It's a good cause, isn't it? And you could make some coin in the process. Let's see if I can ask questions. Why can't you do this yourself? He's lying there wounded. Yeah, good question. Who are you anyway? Written Officio we grin. Name's Wyrton. I've lived in the Gilded Vale long enough to remember how grand it used to be. I used to help the temple sometimes. Bring supplies. That's all. Won't Lord Raedric mind us digging around down there? I wouldn't go telling him about it. Lingering in these places, it's no good for anyone. But you do this quick and quiet, and we can do right by those priests without raising a fuss. Any chance there's something down there worth more than old bones? Probably. Nobody's been through the place since it was sealed up. Well, apart from me. And I didn't touch anything. Any valuables in there, you get first crack at them. I only ask that you do this favor for me while you're at it. Can you tell me more about the legacy, maybe? Saint Waidwin's legacy. The man that housed the Scattered God at time. Lord Raedric fought in that one. When they brought the god down, we had a celebration here in town. He thought things would never be better. Started sometime after that, the disease or whatever it is. Children being born without the stuff that makes them truly alive. Just empty shells, and their mothers screaming and crying. It's destroyed us. Gilded Vale, I mean. Is anyone in here? Yeah, people are working and lurking. Hey, Sky, what's up? You're going to be kicked off by Astral. The thinking is it's Waidwin having a last laugh. Strikes me as a little petty, even for a dead god. But Lord Raedric believes it. That's all that matters. I have no more questions. I'll find them. Then by the flame I owe you a good turn. But listen, the temple's been sealed up for so long, it's crawling with creatures. But if you get past them, the priests would have been down the lower floor. They'll be there still, if they're anywhere. If we settle the wolf, we can ride him in battle. Oh man. Those priests had all kinds of secret chambers. Switches in the walls, tricks, sconces, that kind of thing. Keep an eye out, and take care down there. I don't want to have to send someone else after your remains. I'll wait here by the stairs and keep a lookout. Maybe try to patch myself up some. Suddenly he walks. I thought he was wounded more than he actually was, apparently. Suddenly it walks. Okay. Dungeon time! Have you met the Council of Ducks yet, Astral? Nope. No Council of Ducks yet. Shot!
Puede, sí, es mío.
Ow, ouch. Wait, I'm stunned? Oh god. Arcane Assault.
Yes. Indeed.
Uh-oh. My wizard is down, no! Great start. Summon the Phantom.
Rock 10!
Oh god. Oh god. I'm going down. I'm going down. Nope, I'm not going down. Still alive. Die, wisps.
Right.
Oh man. Okay, that wasn't too... Man, that was the first encounter. This parchment is worn and tattered, and ink upon it faded. In this time of hardship, must have just as much faith as ourselves. In ourselves. Yep, take the treasure.
Right.
Damn, okay. Okay. First encounter was a bit of a... Oh! Overwhelms anyone with a brilliant and bewildering... Summons 3 spell missiles that butter the target, inflicting crush damage. Fire at them!
Doesn't feel right.
Phrases? Oh, that's
Feel right.
Yeah.
Now I'm poisoned, of course. Damn it. Oh, more spiders.
See this.
So can you still cast them? Nice, okay. So I don't know really how... how much spells I can get per encounter. So that's gonna be interesting.
Doesn't feel right. Rock 10! That's not supposed to happen.
Oh! Astral hasn't died again. No, I haven't died. I mean, I just lost the endurance part. But my hit points are low. And I can't do shit about it. Because stuff gives endurance and not health. Which is pretty crap. You have to rest again in order to regain them? Oh, okay. It's all plus endurance, plus endurance, plus endurance. Where's the plus health? That I need. A letter home. Mother, I have asked brother Edric to carry this letter to you, for he travels to New Heomar come morning. With him goes what coin I have, and I hope it will ease the surprise of an unexpected homecoming. For I mean to follow in a few days' time. Our village is much changed, and though I do not wish for you to worry, I do not feel it safe to remain. I know Rectrix Oprica will not approve, but...
Right.
Okay, I think it's time to rest here. We need our health back and stuff. Your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with a suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to waken and find yourself in front of the Gilded Vale's gallows tree, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face is shriveled inward like mouldering fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly her head snaps up and her eyes open, and they are empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with a gust of rancid air she speaks a word. Watcher. You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate. He called her an animancer. Though it fills you with a new queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm she's truly dead. Okay.
Doesn't feel right.
Initius notes this parchment is relatively intact, but the ink upon it has faded. You can make out a few patches of careful, tidy script. Isitus to the ritual floor. Rictrix Obrica says, Damnation for even these, Orgot and struck the largest spell first rather than second. The rest is illegible. Camping supplies, yeah, we just needed those. Excellent.
Seal is me.
Doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. Most inconvenient.
Here we go again. More deaths. No, I'm not actually dying. I'm just constantly losing my endurance. Which sucks. And then with losing endurance, you lose health. Uh-oh. Skulder. Fan of Flames.
Seal is me.
Oh. Okay. Retreat. Oh, come on, really?
Doesn't feel right.
Really? Well, there you go. More deaths. Holy shit. Those encounters, man. Oh, really? All the way from here?
Welcome.
I already read all this. And I said this. I asked him who he was. I did this. I did this. I have no more questions. I'll find them. Excellent. Yeah, sure, you can suggest something. As long as it's not a story spoiler, it's fine on my stream. So. Went in here. Oh, I do have enough to rest. It's just that. Oh, come on, really?
Let's have it out! Yeah.
How may I help? I shall deal with this one. I shall deal with this one.
Okay, this one better.
Right.
This time it went better. I do have enough to rest, it's just that there's... The endurance isn't the problem, because I do survive most fights with, you know, going unconscious one guy and then surviving the fight. So it's not the endurance that's the problem, it's just my lack of items that actually regenerate health. That's the problem. Oh, what are you doing?
Hi?
Doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right.
Well, you were right, it won't be a good idea.
Yes.
Doesn't feel right.
It's evil.
Oh, come on. Ay, vee. Oh, again? I saved before that. Damn you.
Right.
Alright, at least this is after the conversation.
Let's have it out! I'm bleeding.
Indeed.
Oh man, really? No, go there. Kill
How
them.
may I help? I shall.
I mean, where are
Yeah.
the items that actually just bring you health? Like, that's what I need, because the endurance, that's all fine, but it's the actual health that becomes the problem later on.
I shall deal with this one.
Endurance. Sneaking around will reveal more items.
Nice and quiet.
I didn't even get to the bookseller hidden levers.
Nice and slow.
Oh, speaking of which. Oh shit. It's one of those scholar guys again. But like right now, for example, right? My guy has like only half his health. So how do I restore his health in order to survive this dungeon? Because the endurance, yeah, that recovers, but where is the health thing? And eating the fruit is endurance, and it's all endurance, 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 endurance. Like, where's the health? Another water skin is full. Assuming this is cooking stuff, so that won't help. They recommend with at least 3 party members? Oh. Yeah.
Sure.
But we can't recruit 3 party members yet, so maybe we'll need to wait then. Until later in the game, maybe. Because I don't think we can do it with this party.
Let's go.
Seal.
Doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right.
There, the camping supplies. He could generate his own health. Yeah, I don't have that. So that's the problem. Yeah, I'll do this later then. Because constantly dying is not making progress is not fun. So alright. At some point we'll do this thing. Alright then. What I wanted to check though is if we could go and kill the bear with just the 2 of us. Because I got wrecked in the bear cave, but maybe if we, Astral wants revenge on the bear, yeah. Maybe with a wizard in tow, we can kick his ass. Let's go kick his ass.
Nice and slow.
Alright, so we're back at the bear cave.
Yes?
Crab. He already spotted us. That's fine. Barrage him with magical missiles. Holy shit.
Yes?
Okay.
Lava will be on seek.
Okay, that still doesn't help. Damn. Holy shit, that bear is still strong as ever. Ugh. I can't do anything because I already used the spells of the mage. Yuck. Because I already used the spells of the mage and I couldn't summon my phantom. So I can't take the bear on it. God. I need a tank character, man. So badly. I need a character that can actually take hits. So, with that done. Oh man. Let's go back to the Gilded Veil. Because why not? Maybe that Eolthas dude or whatever, Aedia, wanted to join because he had a portrait, so that means he can join the party. No. Didn't we have to go back to this guy at some point? Afraid I still can't help you find residence here. Okay, so that's not it either. Okay, so where do we need to go then? Onslaugh's Cross, travel to Black Meadow. Oh wait, we need to sleep first because then we get the tree vision thing and then we can go to the tree and watch the woman's face again. So let's go rent a room.
Well met, friend.
Like a room, please. Common room, yes. Yep, here it is. Alright, and now we can go back to the tree and actually see the woman. by night as well, to make it even more atmospheric. There it is. Caldara de Baranzi. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bow that sags at the tug of her noose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a frame around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it. But you feel somehow that you could reach it and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. Yep, let's go for it. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out toward the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you have expanded enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing, electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in milky fog, her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives you a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear, or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
Her eyes squint as she peers down at you. I need to understand something that's happened to me. I think I survived a bivouac.
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing.
Caldara praises you with scholarly interest for a moment before she resuming her cheerful demeanor. It didn't really sound cheerful.
Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me, no?
I need to understand something that's happened. I want to know something about you.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
Who are you?
And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldara de Baranzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
She breathes a mild sigh, sending a small beetle skittering from her side as she goes. Her arms turn outwards, stiffly in what might be a courtesy. She laughs, rasping choked cackle escaping between the rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing your blank expression, she catches herself.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found? Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear, Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up. A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been made. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are.
Alright, so I just asked what an animancer was, if you missed that one.
But the best of us? The best? Inspirations, miracle workers. My parents were soul twins. Miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other, turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear. Of course, dear.
Said souls break apart over time.
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again, but less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
She clicks her tongue. I need to understand something that's happened to me. I'm assuming that I don't need to ask whether I'm imagining this or not, because then you'll get some cryptic answer. So I'm just skipping those and go straight to the answers that I want. She nods, a look of pity on her face, as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there. You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either living or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their honor can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well, a wonder!
What do you mean, when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smiles at you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whiskers that sprout from one of her cheeks.
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Cagnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
So how are you able to speak to me has already been answered, because we're a watcher, so we can speak to souls. So yeah.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldera closes her eyes and her head slumps forward over the news, and your surroundings seem to bleed into your vision from some unknown place of waiting. Aloth looks at you through narrowed eyes. Are you alright? You seemed lost just now. This happens a lot. You'll have to get used to it. He folds his arms. That's good to know, but I don't suppose you could tell me what it was all about? Oh crap, do I have to tell it? Why do I have to tell people? His arched eyebrows recede into his hood. Well, that's interesting. And I expect that explains your earlier resentience about experience in the ruins. In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're traveling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you know anything about watchers? Only that they're rare and that they seem to have unique insights into certain soul conditions. As you just demonstrated. Okay, so
17 and a half.
Are you now willing to go with us? The smell of pipe smoke, at once earthy and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origin, where you find a broad man with straw-colored hair leaning against a mossy rock wall, his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks at you directly in one eye. Oh, in the eye. But the look is not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk.
17 and a half. No, it could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
I'm sorry?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Alat frowns. Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
That's awesome that they even did the thing. He looks you up and down and grimaces. What makes you think I was interested in a dwarf woman? He looks at you a moment, his brow arched, his smirk broadened.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
I've been out of saucy. Impossible, I don't drool half as much. Do you know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Best not use that word round here. There'll be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
You think you're going to be
The
hanged?
town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
Why was your headman hanged? Got involved. Redrick sent men down there the other day. Said they had it on good authority someone in town was working with Kolsk, plotting Redrick's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swithin, that's my headman, he steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. He sighs and shakes his head, his eyes fixed on the tree. Bound to happen sooner or later. If not for plotting against Redrick, then for protecting me. What does the town have
Pick the
against
wrong
you?
god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the Legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me.
Uh-oh.
Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Raedrick's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
You can see why I was so eager to leave. Who's Kolsk? Someone who got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will till they catch him. If you're the next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? Drinking, mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. Just haven't figured out where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Waidwin's legacy started with Waidwin. We could travel together. Where you headed? Some place called Cat Nua. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
That's a fine reason if I ever heard one.
Alright then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
He glances briefly at the tree. He tilts his head forward and gives you a pointed look. Let's get going. And we've got a new dude in the party.
Hey.
Time to try the dungeon and stuff all over again. It's a fighter, so it's a tank. That's good. That's good. Defender. The defender adopts a more conservative combat strategy, concentrating on defending incoming attacks. Fighter receives a bonus to deflection and increases his or her number of engagement targets to 3. At the expense of attack rate. Knockdown. Oh yeah.
Alright then.
Yeah, we have our tank. Alright, before we go and start doing all that stuff though, it is time for the final break of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I will be back in 3 to 4 minutes. So if you want to see me attacking a bear and trying to tackle a dungeon once again, stick around. Because more Pillars of Eternity coming right at you after this break.